This is Quantum Flow Radio, organizing thought particles into a flow of collective consciousness.
Hey, man, what's going on today?
You know, I'm a little upset. I stopped by and I was talking to him about...
Crazy.
Yeah. So what about you?
Well, you know, I had a similar conversation with started talking about everything that you're just not supposed to talk about, and I just couldn't believe him. He was just crazy.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to censor me or something.
It was probably that, you know? I mean, I felt, at least that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And that seems to be going on a lot lately.
Yeah, because you can't talk about or
yeah, unless you get censored.
Yes, exactly.
And then it's fine.
Yeah.
You could talk about anything you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what are we talking about today?
I think we're going to talk about censorship. Censorship.
Pretty evident.
Yeah.
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 Well, let's do this thing, man. What do you got? I mean, I know you got something out straight out of the gates.
Well,
for us.
let's first talk about what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
Because no doubt,
Are we allowed to do that?
I don't know. No doubt,
Yeah.
we're probably going to be censored.
Probably.
Meaning, if this goes out on YouTube or whatever platform you're listening to in the future, this platform is probably going to bury this video, or they're going to tell us it's demonetized or whatever all the lingo that they used.
Yeah.
You can't talk about certain things right now, and this is probably one of the most dangerous precedents that we have going on in our society right now.
Absolutely.
Because we are fully based on freedom of speech.
Yeah, this is
And
anti-American.
It's anti-human. It's really. I mean, a lot of countries suppress and they control narratives. They don't want you to say things. And, this is understandable. Let's hope that one day all these countries and, places are free to have free speech.
Yeah.
But the one thing that we still have, at least today in America, is free speech. And without it, you know what happens next.
Yeah, we're basically done, finished.
Because if the majority is silenced, where's the voice?
Right, and we are the majority.
We are. We outnumber everybody.
Yeah, exactly. We are 7 billion strong in this world.
And the people that own all the TV stations, the news stations, the radio stations, if they suppress language, ideas, conversation, just because somebody doesn't want to hear something doesn't mean that you have to, mullify them.
Right.
So,
I mean, I used to think when people would, when I was growing up and people would complain about something that was on TV, let's say, nothing controversial, but just, well, that shouldn't be on TV. Okay, well, then change the channel.
Right. If you don't like
it's
something.
that simple.
Yeah, you have freedom of choice.
Right.
It's not freedom to only have your thoughts.
Right.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about censorship, shadow banning, suppression, all of these really bad things.
Icky stuff.
With the caveat that we're not here. We're going to mention a lot of subjects that are censored, but we're not going to talking about those subjects. We're just merely presenting to them. So that whoever's listening to this, who's ever monitoring this and censoring this content here, you can't because we're just throwing it out there.
Yeah, we're just talking about censorship.
We're talking about subjects that are being censored and not necessarily the subjects.
Right.
Or talking about the facts or the drill down stuff on those subjects.
Because that's what we do.
Right.
Right. So
I guess are we free to move ahead? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a loaded question. But
Well,
let's give it a shot anyway. You start.
Yeah,
I
well,
have
I mean,
some etymology
sure.
here that I'm going to go through too. So,
what we'll do is let me just kind of go a little bit. What is censorship, and then
Yep.
we'll get into the etymology as we usually do.
Yep.
I will state that censorship. It all started back in the day with books, writings, maybe even stuff that was maybe public. People putting out material, certainly with movies later in time, and then over time. Just the news and the news media, and then all into TV and everything else. And, if you really look at it, simply you think of censorship as being something good. Like if somebody was going to make a movie and they were going to put something very risque or something, that wasn't appropriate or family appropriate.
Yeah, whoever
That
it
they
is
would-
that decides that. Yeah.
Whoever's appointed in that
Yeah.
capacity, and they would look at it and say, "We're going to cut,
Yeah.
and we're going to chop,"
Right.
and
And
that's
then just
censorship.
to make it interesting, we're going to add ratings.
Yes. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean,
No,
if you
no,
have
it's a
children,
good-
you want to know
a
what
good
you're looking
insight.
at. Of course, children of all ages are just looking at everything, all the
Right.
crap. Yeah. But when censorship happens, you're over the target.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about censorship in 2020 in the capacity that this is news, history, narrative that is being buried because a certain group of people don't want the truth
Right.
to get out.
Capital T.
Right. It's all about controlling the narrative. If you can push your agenda with little or no resistance, right, or pushback,
Mhm.
you can control the minds of the masses.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what do you got?
And we
for,
all know where that goes.
Yeah. And this is all internet-based, social media,
Mhm.
and it's changing right in front of us.
Sure, they're even
Yeah.
changing
It's a big clampdown.
what already is. I mean, now we're finding that literature, books, all kinds of things that are already in publication are now being looked at again.
Yeah.
And now recensored, changed, and reprinted and reissued, and in some cases shut down.
I bet this has been going on a long time, longer than we actually realize.
Mhm.
And so when the truth finally does come out, people are going to go, "Oh my gosh, the history is completely different than what we were told or what we imagined."
Even though it's really different than what we were already told.
So what do you got for definition?
Well, I have etymology.
Because it's got the word chip in it.
Yeah. So my
all know about
etymology that I was able to look up dates back to the Roman magistrate.
See, I told you, went way back.
Yeah, see, 5 BCE. They took censuses and oversaw public manners and morals, right?
Yep.
So this word is directly from the Latin censor or censure, to appraise, value, or judge, right?
Right.
Also, there was a charge of public finances and public works. It transferred a sense of judgment of morals and conduct, right? So these people, these moralists, these judges would decide what would be acceptable to present to the general public. Okay, 1640s, they started to examine books, plays, later films, to see if they were free of anything immoral.
They didn't have films in the 1600s, so you
No,
really...
but later, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, much later. I should
Oh,
have
I
put
see,
much
okay.
later. Yeah. So looking for anything immoral or perhaps even heretical, right?
Yeah.
So by the early 19th century, the meaning of our English word had been sort of concentrated into state agent charged with suppression of speech or published matter deemed politically subversive. Censorial is a related word. But I do have a very interesting quote. Whenever they or wherever they burn books, they will also, in the end, burn human beings.
I saw
just
that.
think, yeah, I just think that's a
What do you
powerful
think that means?
statement. I think that
Tell me your interpretation.
Yeah, that what goes on here is the knowledge, okay, the gnosis that we have. And we all know, well, many of us know what happened to the Library of Alexandria, perhaps the greatest collection of manuscripts and scrolls and books ever collected in Alexandria, Egypt, was burned to the ground by the Roman Church under orders of the Pope. And I can't help but wonder how much of that stuff made its way out.
Double negative, you. Your
Yes,
English is bad.
thank you. And
Can't help
made
wonder.
its way to
Sorry.
made its way to perhaps the underground layer of the Vatican. And
Yeah,
of
you
course,
think they raided it before they burned it?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
they were smart.
yeah, if they were smart,
Yeah.
because this is, I mean, come on, let's face it. If you're a good guy or a bad guy, there's really something in you that says, really, I shouldn't ruin this stuff. You know, this is good stuff. I'd rather hide it.
Yeah.
You know, so perhaps some of the goodies that were found in the library in Alexandria before it was burnt.
As example, the Nazis raided art
Mm-hmm.
and valuable pieces of, statues, paintings,
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
before they They,
Yeah.
and who knows where it went. A lot
Right.
of it,
Right.
it's probably half of it still.
Sure. And when you're,
Somewhere.
out there shooting people and everything else, you're going through their pockets. You never really want to just leave everything behind.
No, you
So-
don't mug somebody and not take something.
Right. So these things that I
Seth Rich.
see, Adelaide Stevenson said, "My definition of a free society is a society where it is safe to be unpopular."
Right. I saw
And-
that one too.
Yeah, and I really start thinking about all of this, and we've talked about this in previous shows, where I see the world almost as a department store. And all of this stuff is on display. And if you really don't want to buy that coffee maker or that flavor of rice, then just keep moving, But don't petition the store to stop carrying it. And this is what we're doing.
point.
We're at a point now where if somebody doesn't like something, they want it to just go away.
Yeah, it doesn't align in their thought process or beliefs.
Right.
They don't want to see it.
Exactly.
This is, again, a dangerous precedent.
Yep.
So I have some definitions here, and I was surprised because I thought maybe you'd read, verbatim what I had, but I'm going to go ahead and throw these
I left
out.
you stuff.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're awesome. Censorship is the suppression or prohibition of any parts of books, films, news, etc., that are considered obscene. This is what we talked about.
Yeah.
Politically unacceptable or a threat
Yeah.
to security.
Yeah.
A secondary definition is the suppression of speech, public communication, or other information on the basis that such material is considered objectionable, harmful. To who, of course?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the point of
se-
reference here?
Sensitive or inconvenient.
Mm.
Okay? Censorship can be conducted by a government, private institutions, or corporations. Now, of course, we can individually censor each other,
Sure.
but these entities have the overhand. They have the ability to censor on a large scale, where individuals can only censor within maybe a small particular area of their of their
Balance of power.
yeah.
The more
Of their
power you
life.
have, the more you can censor.
Yeah, but it's very apparent. It's very apparent and evident that independent and conservative platforms are censored, and we just note that today. But we cannot dispute that censorship is also being censored. So the censored is censoring censorship. It's crazy.
That's nuts.
It is nuts. Yeah.
And
Without
we're
the
living
chocolate.
it, man. We're living it.
Yeah.
So I have I got a message when I was
From who?
online from the folks over at Facebook.
Ooh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and there was an outage,
Yeah.
which was pretty much all day,
Yeah.
and you couldn't help but wonder, what was that all about? Was there a lack of redundancy? Was there some, redesigning of things? Was there some,
Unless you're in the know, you may have
don't know.
just you may have.
In
no
fact,
idea.
I got because of the workplace part of Facebook, I got an email
Oh.
that said, "We'd like to inform you that some people are currently having trouble accessing Workplace and other Facebook apps. We're focused on resolving the issue as soon as possible. There's also been some inaccurate media speculation that this is an attack. We can confirm this is not the case. Thank you for your patience, and we'll be back in touch once we have more information. You have received this communication because you're a system admin of a workplace community.
Wow.
Our sincerest apologies, the Workplace team." Now, I don't know, but
Yeah.
Facebook is perhaps the greatest social media platform that we've seen to date.
It's very poignant right now because everyone has touched upon it, and it's one of the platforms that seems to be clearly
Yeah.
being censored.
Now,
in fact,
I-
have you been in Facebook jail?
Yes.
Because I have.
Yeah.
You can't post your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody tried to slip me a mouse so I could
It's
get
not
out.
it's not a pleasant place to be.
No.
I'm pretty much giving up Facebook in the theoretical sense. I don't really care anymore because most people are not listening. You can't wake them up, and the way they control things, all the algorithms, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
Your posts only really go to about 25 of your hundreds and hundreds, and some people have thousands of friends.
Right.
So it's already being.
Yeah, and by the way, this is not a Facebook
Narrative.
bashing. This is just, talking
these
about
are-
what's taking place and what's transpired.
We're talking about facts.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that when you go to certain posts, that certain posts are, people have content that they're literally skipped. Meaning, if you're the last one to post,
Yeah.
yours may not show up, but the ones before yours may show up.
Yeah.
They conveniently only show certain, responses and hides others.
Yeah.
This is
At
clear.
least it appears that way.
You're right. We won't go all the way to say that it's absolutely happening, but
Yeah.
it is.
It appears, it appears to
the
be that way.
appearance is stronger than
Yeah, I mean, I know every time I post anything of I don't even want to use the word controversy or controversial. It's just something that's out of the norm. Basically, not a picture of my dog or the current meal that I'm eating. Either people just have absolutely zero interest in that post, or it's being just shoved back into the back corner and not even being seen.
Yeah.
And what interests me is, sometimes you get the statistics, 33 people have viewed your post, or whatever, you get something like that.
That's a lot for me.
Yeah, that's like, well, I'm talking about like my collective, week.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, if I get some sort of a message that says that, I don't know, 72 people have viewed your post, yet I go to that post and there's not one like, not one comment, not one reply.
Not even a heart.
Yeah, not even a heart. I'm just thinking something's a little fishy.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm finding that face that laughs, haha, to be very effective on other people's posts now.
Exactly.
It's like, you're way off the mark.
Yeah.
So I'm using that more than the likes.
Yeah, and then here's another interesting point.
They'll probably get rid of it now.
Yeah. My wife tried to sign into Facebook yesterday, right?
Okay.
And all of a sudden, they want all kinds of security questions asked.
Well, they want your phone number.
Yeah, from the
Where
same
do you live?
from the same
Blood type.
media device that she always uses, her phone.
Yeah.
Right. So now they go one step further, right? So you have to have this code. They're going to email you a code, and then you have to put the code in before you can get in again. But
Gosh,
then,
I better not sign out.
yeah, but then the next stop after the code is they're asking for a new profile picture that's only your face, that's clearly visible with nobody else in the picture.
Facial recognition.
Exactly, right? And
They want it updated. They don't want your college picture where you got the long hair and you look beautiful. But no, they want your.
Yeah, and then they explain to you all of this stuff, to why they want this new picture, and really, seriously.
Listen, we're going to get serious right here. This is fact.
Yep.
This is, you can believe in coincidences or whatever you want, but this is fact.
Yeah.
And this should not be censored or banned. Facebook, the inception, the date that it really came on to be was February 4th, 2004. Okay.
2424.
Yeah. There was a DARPA, which is a Defense Advanced Research Project agency, that put they had something that was called LifeLog, which was based on gathering any intel and any information on each individual.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it was, they have their reasons for doing it. We're not going to say why or why not.
Yeah, I mean, there could be some good stuff there. Yeah,
Could be.
I
It could,
understand
yeah.
that.
Guess what date it ended? Okay.
February 4th, 2004. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Now,
I'm
is it the-
intuitive like that.
Oh yeah. So hey, why? You really went on a ledge to guess that. Okay. The DARPA was supposed to capture and store everything about you, but people were probably unwilling to give up information if they knew that it was a government-backed operation.
Yeah.
More willing to say, hey, Facebook. Now, Facebook was really dry and boring when it came on into being.
Yeah.
You ever heard of MySpace?
Yes.
MySpace was cool.
Yeah.
It was hip,
Yeah.
but they could not control it.
No.
And it already went out into public domain. So that means that
Still
Facebook.
out there too, I think.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's
no. They
still-
killed. Oh my gosh,
Did
that
they?
was so killed off.
Really?
Well,
'Cause
maybe
I still see people's MySpace pages
because it was so big, it's still here years and years later.
Yeah, just
I mean,
wandering around out in cyberspace.
cyberspace, wherever the universe. The interesting thing here, and this is fact, when you look at how Facebook was set up.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't believe it was just one young. We're not. I don't even want to mention his name.
Yeah.
Give him any credit at all.
Yeah,
I
we know
think
it
he's, he could be a pawn. We're just speculating.
Right.
Okay. But there's a group, In-Q-Tel. This is fact. We know In-Q-Tel, which is, we won't go into the exact background of them, but they were heavy investors into Facebook from pretty much the beginning.
Okay.
So, and you look up In-Q-Tel. We're not going to say anything more about that. So, we know that this was completely set up for a reason and not just for our social media benefits.
Yeah.
Not to post pictures of our puppy dog or our, our relatives or that's all good and everything, but they want information. They want facial recognition. They want phone numbers. They want to know where you're going. As if your phone or all the stuff, the security systems they put in these houses now. You see these things?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What's it called?
With all your passcodes and
Allegro. No, Allegro. What's the name of the Amazon has?
Yeah, there's Alexa.
Alexa.
there's-
That's it. Yeah.
yeah.
See, I
don't
yeah.
do any Wi-Fi stuff. So,
No. Yeah,
don't
and
know.
nor should you, but for multitudinous of reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you go over to somebody's house and they have it,
Yeah.
every conversation is probably being recorded.
Yeah.
Hey, are we saying that's bad or good? Maybe it's for your protection, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. They have to protect you from your own thoughts.
Yeah. Like that live camera on your laptop that's on all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
Watching
that. Yeah. And some people put
protect you.
tape over it.
I have black tape over mine.
Well, you shouldn't say that. So, do you know what shadow banning is?
No, but you're going to tell me.
It is the act of blocking and partitioning, or partial blocking of a user of their content from an online community, such that it will not be readily apparent to the user that they have been or being banned. And this happens on many platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I'm sure a host of other ones. But this is where everything has been channeled. If you put a video out,
Yeah.
it's all on YouTube. What other video platform is there?
Yeah. Well,
If you
there
do
are
a search
a
engine,
few, but that's the one.
yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, Vimeo, Dailymotion, some of
Right.
these other ones, but they all tie back
Sure.
to one hand.
Yeah.
If you look at Google, that's a search engine of choice. In fact, it's the default.
Yeah.
Or Bing.
Yeah.
If you want to search, you could use DuckDuckGo. I have no idea if this saves your previous searches or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they say it does. Who knows?
Yeah.
Instagram is a platform like for pictures.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures. They want all your pictures to be on that.
Yeah.
Twitter is basically tweets. People saying, short little, little things that they want to get out there. A lot of very popular celebrities use Twitter, to tell them that, oh, I'm drying my hair.
Right.
And everybody's supposed to go, oh, they're drying their hair.
I'm sure it'll look spectacular.
Oh, yeah. And a million comments,
Yeah.
completely worthless information.
Right.
Yeah. It'll get you nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, it'll get you somewhere, but it's not where you need to go.
Yeah.
So-
but meanwhile, if you posted something about, did you know that the entire power of the universe is located within you?
Nobody wants to hear that.
Scroll.
Scroll, pass.
Pass.
Delete.
Yeah.
Well, and this is what's happened. They've buried stuff on YouTube. It's personally happened to some people we know, and
Yeah.
in fact, some of these channels are being deleted or completely buried. So that way, even if you put in the exact title of the video,
Yeah.
word by word, it will still not come up.
Yeah.
You could scroll through 30, 40 pages of numerous videos, and your video just doesn't show up. It doesn't make sense, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
So this is proof positive that some video content and podcasts is not only being hidden or demonetized, but just buried.
Yep.
Completely. And there's no way to find it.
Right.
If you
Even if you, quotation mark it.
yes.
It'll,
It probably the quotations probably hurt your chances though, and so we know this is to be true because these platforms, in fact, YouTube, Facebook, and even Google, we're just highlighting these because these are the only ones that they're the main ones.
Yeah,
they have publicly announced through times that they're basically cleaning out certain content, topics, subjects that they feel deemed inappropriate to talk about.
Right.
Why?
Right.
Again, it threatens their narrative.
Them.
So they've used algorithms and computer code to change things so that certain topics and subject matter does not appear at the top of any search in any of these platforms.
Right. So
guess what we're going to do? We'll talk about the 11 subjects you're not supposed to talk about. We're not going to talk about talking about them. We're just going to mention them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Without any other discussion.
11, huh?
Well, I chose 11.
I know what
There's probably more, right? Is this okay that we do this?
11's good.
So these are topics that get censored, deleted, or buried.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1.
And I'm guessing these are not all conspiracy related.
Well, number 1 is conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Yeah. So you hit that one on the nose because this is very dangerous. You cannot talk about whether we went to the moon or not.
Yeah.
You can't talk about 9/11. You can't talk about Kennedy assassination.
Yeah.
And you can barely talk about UFOs, although some UFO information is readily apparent. Right there at the beginning of the search.
Right.
So this leaves you to scratch your head. Hey, maybe there's something there.
Yeah.
But conspiracy theory, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it, baby. Can't talk about that.
It's over.
Okay. Dose. Number 2.
Yep.
Vaccines.
Oh, yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Don't do it.
No.
Nope.
I mean, don't not do it, but don't.
Yeah. In fact, I saw earlier in the week a writing from Erin Elizabeth, and she said that Pinterest has banned anything with the word vaccine in it.
Yeah,
And that's anytime the word comes up, boom, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vaccines, vaccinations, just can't talk about that.
I wonder if we misspell it.
You mean with one C or something?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to go VACCIN, like the word vacations in that song by
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we're not talking about it. We're just mentioning it.
Yep.
Okay. 3. God.
Oh, yeah.
Religion.
The God thing.
God-centric.
Yeah.
Not all religious, but a lot of religious topics. You just cannot go there.
Yeah.
They don't want that out there.
Right.
They don't want you to know that you are connected.
Right.
That you are beautiful.
Yeah.
You're whole.
Yeah.
And there's just beauty out there within you and without.
And that we are all one.
Right.
One living organism.
Yeah. You hear us?
Yeah.
One.
O-N-E.
You're not separate.
And that's capital one.
They want you to be lost on an island, desperate.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
4. Can't talk about New World Order, Deep State, Illuminati. Nope. Can't go there. These are subjects that globalism, where it's painted in a,
right.
A bad sense, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah, and I know this works because I've been to some of these sites that have disappeared.
Sure, and
you hit
and
refresh and it's gone. You're like,
it's
"Whoa,
amazing. Oh
hey,
yeah, I was
how
watching
about
a video and I was going, "Wow, I can't believe this is up." And I had to walk away and I had to refresh. Guess what? It wasn't.
It was gone. Poof.
And I couldn't find it either, and it was gone.
Yeah.
And some videos of content is just they will not let it out. Like if there is, a shooting.
Yeah.
A lot of people might want to see this. They let you watch 1 million people getting killed in movies.
Mm-hmm.
They let you go on to Xbox or any of these other game platforms, PlayStation, and you can kill 1 million people.
Yeah.
But they won't let you watch a real video of people unfortunately, I mean, it sounds morbid and horrible, but some people want to see it.
Yeah.
To know that, hey, this is truth.
Yeah.
What
It's
they're
very real.
It's very real.
Yeah.
It may or
Sad as it is, it's very real.
It's horrible. So number 5, another really taboo thing, chemtrails.
Oh, those.
Those. I don't know much about them, but just it's not something you're not supposed to talk about.
Look up.
Okay. Yeah. Look up literally.
Yeah.
Wake up. Okay. 6.
Yeah.
This is this alone. I can't believe I'm saying this. Okay. You cannot talk about Sandy Hook or the Las Vegas shootings. Speaking of shootings, this content is scrubbed
Really?
with bleach, really bad on everything.
Wow.
And not only that, but I will mention one thing. Very strangely, they're letting the parents of the poor children that were supposedly killed in Sandy Hook, they're letting them sue the gun companies. This is unheard of. Just completely, it's almost, it's bizarro.
It's agenda based.
Okay, well, we're not going to discuss anymore. You can't talk about it.
Well, there is an
We're not.
agenda, but we're not going to talk about
No, we can't
the
talk about it.
specific agenda. Yeah.
Number 7, you can't talk about alternate medicines. You can't talk about fluoridation or GMOs.
Yeah.
And this is not as hardcore, but like the other ones. But it is.
But it does involve a great deal of money.
It's a top. Yeah. And if you watch any news, at least nowadays, and a commercial comes on, it's no doubt a commercial, a pharmaceutical company that's trying to sell you some type of medicine or drug, telling you, hey, this is the way you're going to have a great, healthy lifestyle if you take this drug. But unfortunately, you're going to have like sleepy legs and lose your hair, and you're going to turn into a dog.
Anal leakage.
Oh, yeah. There you go with that. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Ready to move on? Number 8. Okay. Can't talk about, in the bad sense, or question global warming or climate change.
Okay.
Can't go there.
Okay.
Okay. Because science has proven it's the fact is in.
Yeah.
And we only have 12 years.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
We're done.
All right.
We have to just change everything.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure there'll be someone in charge of that's going to make a ton of money.
this next one is really bad. Oh gosh.
Flat Earth.
Yes, man.
Oh, I read that.
Flat Earth. You must you work for the government.
Yeah.
So you can't talk about the flat Earth. The flat Earth. It could be a flat Earth one day.
It could be.
You can't talk about the flat Earth, even though ironically the UN flag logo is a flat Earth.
Well, yeah.
United Nations.
Yeah.
Right there. Look on it. And Antarctic. You can't talk about Antarctic. You certainly can't talk about it.
Any of the poles, really.
Yeah, you can't talk about the poles.
Yeah.
Even though there's a treaty, 48 nations have signed it, saying shh. Quiet.
Yep.
We can't tell you anything.
Right.
And you can't go there. You
Right.
can't fly down there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, if you do go down there, they send you on a plane without windows. Seriously.
Wow.
It's a windowless plane.
Nice.
Like if you're going to the trying to remember the name of but there's certain places that you can go to. There's bases. And there's a military base down there.
Of course there is.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But try getting into
just-
Agartha or the Inner Earth community, and you're done.
This just keeps getting worse. Number 10, false flags. Which is actually encompasses some of the other.
Yeah.
It overlaps some of these other subjects, but just in general, false flags and I found this interesting. You know how the false flag came about?
The origin of it? The concept?
The origin.
No,
it has to do with ships.
Oh, really?
I thought you'd know this.
Oh, because maybe a ship saying that they're part of some fleet that they're really not.
Yeah, well, say you're a pirate.
Arr.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Because I love my pirate voice. So you're on a pirate ship. You see another ship, but it's just far away enough that you can't see their flag, and you know that you're a bad dude.
Yeah.
So you're going to put up another flag. You're going to put up like a flag,
friendly
flag. Yeah. Like, hey. So when you get close to the other ship, they go, "Oh, these are our friends."
Right.
And at the last moment, right before you send the cannons over,
Right.
you
before you see the patch on their eye.
Yeah, the patch on their eye and the skull and bones flag that goes up, the mast.
Yep.
That's what false flag comes from.
Okay.
You're putting up a false flag.
Makes
So-
perfect sense to me.
And false flags, you can't talk about like the Boston Marathon thing
Yeah.
or anything like that. Can't talk about that.
Yeah. Or the other thing with the buildings.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That you can definitely not talk about. And you can't talk about Building 7. Or
Yeah.
anything
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Nothing like that.
No.
Yeah.
You can talk about Building 8 and 6, but not 7.
Not 7.
Okay.
Okay.
So, number 11.
Or the trillions of dollars that were lost in building 7. Okay, never mind.
Well, actually, this is not a
ahead.
topic. I don't know what I got here. But
Right.
anything that you do or say or write is tracked. So I guess you can't talk about anything being tracked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you
So-
go online, so everybody understands.
Yeah.
You go online from anywhere. It's there forever.
Well-
They know exactly where it came from. They know exactly, they may not know exactly who typed the keys.
Exactly.
Okay. Exactly. But they do know where it came from. You can't do the public library anonymous thing anymore. Okay.
Right.
Because you have to have a password to get into an email account or a social media account or whatever. So they're still going to find you. So just know whatever you put online is public information.
Well, also, I think this kind of gets to the fact, like, if you look up on Google and say you want to buy a new pair of shoes, you're looking for those beautiful,
Right.
comfy moccasins
Yeah.
that you want to wear,
Yeah.
watching TV.
Yeah.
Then you go on another platform, and all of a sudden, the ad for
Comfy moccasins
comfy
comes up.
moccasins come up. How did they know?
Yeah.
So completely different websites,
Right.
completely different platforms,
Right.
but
Moments apart.
moments apart, and you could check it on your phone, and then you come back to your computer, and guess what?
Yeah.
It's still there.
Right.
So, hey, we're not connecting any dots here.
And it's for you.
I think this is completely just a coincidence.
Yeah.
They just know.
Yeah.
They're inside your head.
Yeah. And it's for you because I may get the moccasins.
Yeah.
But you may get the rubber stamp kit you were looking at.
Yes.
It changes
What am I rubber
for each
stamping?
person. Yeah. Right. Well, nobody can track your rubber stamp. So
I
you're
think
good
rubber
with that.
stamps is outdated. I mean, do
Out-
people rubber stamp
outdated?
stuff? Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Oh gosh. Okay. So you got anything else before I finish up or on that?
No, but
Okay.
I was one little thing.
Because I talked a lot there.
Yeah, no, it's okay. One little thing. I heard a rumor that Amazon is beginning to ban certain books, particularly books which deal with some of those 11 subjects, particularly autism, vaccines, things like that.
Yeah.
And that's even more disturbing. And like I said, we're not picking on Facebook or Twitter or
No,
anything
we
else.
love these.
Yeah,
these
I mean, I love
platforms.
to go on and see what my friends are doing and all that stuff.
Yeah. I like to see what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I'm exceptionally thrilled to be on there and be totally ignored most of the time.
Excuse me, I'm getting a little choked up here.
but this thing continues to grow. And what's fascinating to me is, how many words we have in the English language? I mean, letters. Is it 24?
No, it's 26.
26. Okay.
Yeah, you're-
All right. Sorry.
For a smart guy, you're
confused,
not
yeah.
good at math.
So 26 letters in the English alphabet.
Yes.
Yet you can go into a library that has millions of books, all written with just 26 letters.
And spaces.
Yeah, spaces.
Yeah.
And that's fascinating to me, right? So now what we're doing is we're saying, well, that book, no, that's really not pertinent anymore or really important anymore. So we're just going to get rid of that. Or we'll give you a different version of it.
Yeah.
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 Cliff's Notes on steroids.
All it is just we're arranging these 26 letters into just different patterns, and you're saying you're going to censor that.
Right.
When you can take the same 26 letters, rearrange them slightly differently, and you're not going to censor that.
Right.
Hello.
Exactly.
Hello. Hello.
And again, who is you? Who is they?
Who is them?
That's like the age-old question. Well, they say that,
Well, they're hidden.
Who is they?
Because when we find out who they are, they have no.
They've blown their cover.
Yeah.
It's
And
over.
they won't have any security to.
Yeah. We just know
Protect
there's
them.
about 3,000 of they.
I think it could be more.
Yeah?
I think it's more like groups.
Groups of
We,
thousands.
we won't on this discussion. We'll not mention those groups. In
Yeah.
other discussions.
Yeah,
we have
but they
mentioned
have,
these
but they do
groups.
have a lot to do with this
Yeah.
censorship.
Do
that
your
we're
own
dealing with.
research.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do it all for you.
Right.
We're kind of busy here.
Right.
I will leave this with one last thought before we move on to the next part. Getting back to kind of specifically conspiracy theories, people go, why? And people who are anti-conspiracy theories, who just disbelieve all of it, just saying you're an idiot
Yep.
to put your tinfoil hat on
Right.
and question anything you've been told. You're dumb. You're stupid.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you why. Why conspiracy theories are still prevalent. This is the reason. Some of these thoughts and theories, they'll never go away, and this is why. It is weaved into the fabric of our consciousness because the truth has not been told. So we are not complete, we are not satisfied, and we're not at ease with these topics because we know some of us have very, we're intuitive. We understand. We know when truth has been told to us and when it's not. And it's like a thorn.
Yeah.
Like the Matrix. It's
Right.
just sticking us
Right.
and
It's
saying,
just
hey,
not-
hey.
It's not
you're
vibing.
Yeah, it's not vibing. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. So when it doesn't add up, some of us say, hey, why?
Yeah.
Why do you think we're dumb? Why do you think we're stupid? Why do you think we're doing this for our health? In what reason? We're not at ease. Put us at ease. Give us the information. Show us everything to convince us otherwise. But when you play games with us and you can't defend the topic and you just go after the character of the person, that shows the character of you.
Right.
That shows your fault. That shows your inability to understand and take your thought process back on an analytical and critical basis. So who's acting stupid? Who's acting narrow-minded? Who are you to say that another person can't think or express their feelings or their opinions? What gives you the right? Are you better than me? Are you? Come on. I mean, wake up, people. This is
This is really good. Keep going. I mean, it's because you're
I'm
saying
accepting
so
my
many,
Academy
You're
Award
saying
now.
so many things that I want to say, that so many people want to say.
Yeah.
Because there's that inherent, built-in factor.
Well, you're conditioned not to, they tell you from a young age, hey, Jimmy,
Yeah.
you don't go there.
Right.
Jimmy gets back in his seat and says, okay,
Yeah.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Right.
4 plus 4 is 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
and,
Jimmy.
And, there are just some things we don't ask.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that ends up being your whole life.
When I was very young, I saw this saying. It said, question authority.
Yeah.
I understand that now.
Yeah.
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 And
John Cougar's Mellencamp, I fight authority.
I
one of my
fight
favorite
authority,
songs.
but authority knows.
Yeah.
its
So
wings.
it's like you're conditioned by folks,
Yeah.
all growing up. There's one line that always comes out, because I said so.
Yeah, because I said so.
Because I said so.
Yeah. So we know, and by admission, YouTube announcing, it's going to deboost or hide, certain rankings of posts. It's clearly evident that censorship is
avoiding
happening.
the word censor.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, and again, they're not hiding it, and they're pretending, or they're saying it's for our benefit because it's fake news, or it's misinformation. So let us decide, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And what really bothers me is, you'll have like a Facebook head, like one of these people,
Yeah.
and they move from the government to Facebook to Google. It's like, how come no one questions this?
Right.
These people that are moving from company to company,
Yeah.
they never really hire from outside. Believe me, they haven't looked for my resume.
No,
So-
they've not called me either,
No. Okay. And they won't.
and I'm readily available.
Sure. That's why we
They
do
know
this.
that. So the whole concept of censorship you mentioned in the beginning of the show is just so disturbing, because this project, this boat that we're on, I'll use boat because of maritime law.
I like it.
Yeah, is an experiment. It's a social experiment. This America thing, and the people that began so much of this experiment brought with them a vast amount of knowledge of what didn't work before. So they said, okay, well, let's just get rid of all that junk because it didn't
Yeah.
work. And let's do this because we have a pretty good feeling this is going to work.
Yeah.
And it's been working very well for a very long time.
I think before they said, well, if these people think alternatively, we're just going to kill them.
Right.
But then it became difficult to kill us, so now they have to, have us think a certain way. And
Right.
now I think that's becoming difficult, so they may go back to
Yeah.
what they did before, which is that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Thought.
Yeah.
And I have no doubt at the end, when this gets really ugly,
Yeah.
that they'll try to do stuff like that because they want to keep control.
Yeah.
And when we say they, look, let's not play dumb. There's global powers that really could care less about you, could
Right.
care less about America,
Right.
could care less about any country's sovereignty.
Right.
They want to lump you into a bag. They want to tie that bag, put it around their back,
Mm.
and then carry you off to Never Land and never to be seen or heard again.
Right.
Wow. I should write that down. Huh?
We should.
Yeah. Now, there's one other platform that I didn't mention that I want to bring up, and it's a little from left field, but there's a platform called Kickstarter. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So here's where you put new product, new ideas, new inventions. Hello.
Yep.
So they're bringing everybody to this platform, and before even a product is on the market, you're putting all your intellectual property out there for somebody to see,
Yeah.
for them to judge
Sure.
and critique
And steal.
and steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And believe me, it ain't China.
Yep.
Listen to my language. It ain't. It isn't China
Yeah.
that's stealing all our intellectual property.
Yeah.
It could be going on right
Yeah,
under
with
your nose.
Xerox
right here.
copied CD covers.
I know they are doing, yeah, but they're doing Prada bags and
Yeah,
Louis
that kind of
Vuittons
stuff.
and that kind of
Right.
stuff. But when it really maybe they're doing computer codes. Who knows? But this is nothing new, and in fact, they even have some great movies that tell the truth through time. We talked about 1984.
Yeah.
We know that censorship was going on in that movie
Yep.
by changing history
Yep.
in the history books.
Network.
Speaking of books, Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah.
Burning books. And
Yeah.
you had a great quote before about burning
About
books.
the burning books.
Yeah, yeah.
When will they burn us?
Yeah. And then
And sorry, just to add this,
No.
but going back to that quote, which was specifically, where is it? Wherever they burn books, they will also, in the end, burn human beings. This was Heinrich Hein.
well, they did do that during. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Microwave technology.
Oh, okay. Can't talk about that.
Yeah, is just something I wanted to mention there.
No, you're right.
Because
5G?
Yeah, 5G, and it's what we already have in place,
Yeah.
and we are slowly being cooked.
Yeah. What are you made of mostly?
Water and
Okay,
and-
water.
Yeah,
What do you when you put water in the microwave? What does it do?
it boils.
You think that's good for your body?
No,
Hello?
yeah, on
Yeah.
a cellular level.
No.
Yeah, it's just smaller doses.
yeah.
We had
Get a-
microwave weaponry during the war.
Yeah. Get away from those poles.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But moving on to
Moving on to brighter.
censorship.
Oh well, there's one more movie, a more modern movie.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might not have heard of this, but I thought I'd throw out something at least more modern. It's Equilibrium. I think it was done in the 2000s. It's I think Christian Bale is in that. He's in a lot of.
I did
let me
not
tell-
see Equilibrium, but
Yeah,
I
but
I
it's-
now will.
But now,
Well,
but
I
see,
still can.
where we talked about books and subject matter and history, this is where they control communities and populations through kind of like a drug platform. So they're trying to put us all on medicine right now too.
Yeah.
Because then when they do pull the plug, you need your medicine.
Yeah.
You're not going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
So
And-
read
and-
between
and-
the lines.
Right. And also with the medicine thing, and you could go back to the chemtrails for a moment if you want to, but know that our technology now is at the point where there are electronic chips or sensors that are so small that can be ingested or inhaled, and you don't even know that they're in you. That can also
That's a scary thought.
be programmed.
Yeah.
And ultimately, a lot of things can happen when you're dealing with technology like that.
Yeah.
Not such good things.
No. Maybe the Google Dragonfly code will figure that out for you.
Maybe. Yep. We'll find out.
So, and it's not safe to be unpopular, or it is safe to be unpopular. No, it's not safe to be unpopular.
Right.
Okay. So I do have a quote here, one
Okay.
quote, and then I also have something I want to read through.
Quid pro quote.
Okay.
Because you do one and I'll do one.
Okay.
Okay.
You want to do yours first, or
Sure, I can do mine first.
Yeah.
Yours is probably much
Well,
more
no.
powerful.
Let me do this, and then I'll
Okay.
let you do yours, and then I got something else to read.
Perfect.
So this is all over the internet, and
Yeah.
this is not being censored, and this is, it may be redundant for some, but I'm going to read it anyway because I think it really says to the heart of what censorship really is. And hopefully it's not your quote, but Pastor Martin Niemöller.
It's not my quote.
Okay. Here we go. They came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't communist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't Jewish. And then they came for me. And by that time, no one was left to speak up for me. So when is it a good time to bring awareness to censorship?
Yeah. Now.
Before you're censored.
Yeah.
Understand?
Sure.
Because if you wait too long, and the worst part of censorship is beep.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And you
I
sort
mean,
of
I
have
can't
to,
even say it.
Yeah, you sort of have to figure out what's under the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was my own tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're not tone deaf. I heard that one.
Hardly.
Okay,
I'm
so
handing
my
the
quote.
mic to you.
We have a natural right to make use of our pens as of our tongue at our peril, risk, and hazard. Voltaire said that.
I love Voltaire.
Many moons ago.
I love me Voltaire.
Yeah. So this has been going on for a very long time. It's just that the information age has now brought it to our present attention.
And you hit it on the head there. Information age, technology. This is where we are.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be here. I have a feeling, as we've talked about reality,
Yeah.
we've been through this before. I think it's already done. And guess who wins? We do.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
Don't think that everything we're talking about is hopelessness.
No, it's
not. We're bringing awareness because this is the way we have to go.
Yeah,
This
there
is-
will be casualties,
Sure.
where there will be losses. It's part of the process. But in the end, we win.
Yeah.
That's how it's designed.
Yeah. But I have a feeling some of us are going to be kind of tired.
Yeah.
And the win won't be, it's not like winning, the Daytona 500. You're standing out there with milk and, pretty girls and, the roses
Champagne
and stuff.
all over your head.
I think this is just going to be more like a melancholy, like, okay,
Right.
we finally made it. And luckily for our future generations, they'll appreciate the work that we're doing.
Right.
And the awareness we're bringing. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, do you personally know each one of your Facebook friends? No, because half of them are probably bots.
Yeah, they could be.
No, so you got to go through and you got to say, I know this dude, I met this dude.
Right.
But if there's anybody on there, and I know that I have friends that just they befriend everybody because they
Right.
want 1,000 friends.
Right.
But they're all bots. And then the other thing is that there's something called Code Sigma, 2017 iAction deboost live distribution. Just look that up and enjoy. Okay.
Is there a short version of
No.
that?
That's all I can say.
Okay.
And by the way, you can't censor me on that because that's public information.
So Henry Steele Commander
Who's that?
once said,
Oh, okay.
this is another quote, "The fact that censorship always defeats its own purpose, for it creates in the end the kind of society that is incapable of exercising real discretion."
Wow.
So it's basically a time bomb.
Yeah.
And
And when is it going to go off?
Yeah.
And who's going to be holding it when
Yeah.
it does go off?
Yep.
It's like a hot potato, huh?
Yeah. And they just keep throwing it around.
I have this was posted on a public platform, and I'm going to read it. Hopefully, it's not too long.
Okay.
But
Yeah, go for it.
yeah. So this is a person. Okay. I am a content provider. I've created, invented, produced articles, games, apps, products, books, video, radio, websites, and more to the free market. And this person goes on to say, I can honestly say that censorship is unfortunately alive and doing very well in 2020. Censorship, shadow banning, and suppression of content is happening right now. Platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Google, Amazon, YouTube, and even GoDaddy all have algorithms and monitors that control the flow of information and content to the public. Why? What are they afraid of? That's weird because we asked that same question. Mm-hmm. What are they afraid of? Well, he goes on to write, or she goes on to write, they don't want truthful alternative platforms gaining audiences because it threatens the establishment narrative of controlling how you think and how you live. This is 1984 and 2020. And if you don't see it or care to see it, then you are compliant with the system or have been unaffected by its manipulation since you have not opposed or challenged it. When you question things or wake up, you're immediately categorized into the opposition. Your video is hidden and won't be seen. Your book is banned. Your posts on social media are suppressed and will only be seen by the 25 of your few friends out of the hundreds of friends that you may have. There's no real freedom of speech or thought. It's an illusion and becoming less of a reality for many of us inventors and creators of content on the internet. I bring this to your attention since only over the past year, the censorship is getting much, much worse, especially with many on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube accounts being buried or deleted. Valuable information is being erased from our record books right before our eyes. Specific people and groups targeted because they challenge the establishment. This person goes on to say, I am an independent. I side with what I feel is right and just. If I cannot express my independent views, then I know we are upon a critical time in our history, and that we are also upon a time of significant change and redirection. The question is, where are we going? To a slave state of conformity or return to a life of freedom and expression that will not be snuffed by institutional corporatism of government oversight and overreach? It is up to you, the public. If we don't make ourselves heard now, then at what point will we be able to be heard in the future? Kind of getting back to that quote. Yeah. We won't, because once full censorship takes hold, then to return to true, real freedom will be lost, perhaps forever.
Yeah. Won't even know what it is anymore.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
That's deep.
Well,
that's like Mariana Trench deep. Okay, we're down there. That's. And somebody once said the best way to control the opposition is to own the opposition. Mm. So many times when you're out there screaming and hollering about something that you truly believe in, whatever it might be, understand that maybe those who are siding with you are the same ones that you're against.
Yeah. It's called controlled opposition. Yeah. And they put people in the place. They're pretending.
Yeah.
They're puppets.
Yeah.
And they'll give you partial truth, but they can't go all the way.
Right.
And if you're listening to somebody and they can't go all the way, now we're not going all the way because we're being careful here.
Right.
But if somebody's telling you something and they're holding back and there's something vital information or a tidbit that's really kind of, conjugal to the whole story and they're not expressing it, well, then that, hey, question,
Yep.
Don't throw them under the bus right then, but then you can monitor the situation. So, a very bright person told me, listen to all, but you don't have to necessarily own everything that you hear.
Yeah, look at the buffet, but don't eat everything. H.G. Wells wrote, "No passion in the world is equal to the passion to alter someone else's draft."
Wow.
And I think a lot of that's going on right now, and it's disturbing.
It is disturbing.
Even if it's wrong, even if whatever it is you're reading is wrong, oh well, figure it out. Yeah. We once relied entirely on Newtonian concepts. Now we know that quantum physics has shot bullet holes through a lot of the Newtonian work that was done.
Yeah, and And like when you read the Bible, it pretty much tells you, it talks about the four corners of the earth.
Yep.
It kind of expresses with the dome,
Yeah.
the firmament.
Yeah.
It kind of tells you what's here.
Yep.
So is that so wrong to express something that's written in the greatest book ever?
Yeah.
Even though it does have its faults and may be, adulterated in its
Right.
own
'Cause
right.
you got to look deeper than the literal and the historical.
So, be careful. Remember, when you censor the guy that's next to you,
Yep.
you're next. So on that note, let's hope it's not being censored.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Enjoy.
Take care.
Bye.
You've been listening to Quantum Flow Radio. Email us online at quantumflowradio@gmail.com.